Hello, guys. Would you guys mind me complaining about Bite by Night? Yes? Well, too bad. Anyways, I want to talk about the generators, or the objectives as a whole. Firstly, the tasks feel pretty stale. Don't get me wrong, it's not that bad, and there are probably games with worse objectives. But the issue is that there's barely any diversity or mix-up to them. Like, all you really do is either complete 3 parts of a task that barely changes, or transport an object from point A to point B while slowed. Which, while it might be fun for some people, for others it gets pretty boring. I know they're eventually going to add more objectives in the next update, but it's still something I wanted to mention. Secondly, the generators are way too overpowered. What they do is give you agony, which is basically their malice count, along with time skip, scrap, and XP. Not only that, but once all the objectives are completed, the timer gets set to 4:30 a.m. You see why I said they're really good? The killer only has around 3 minutes left at that point. It also doesn't help that you're getting scrap, XP, and agony all at once just for doing objectives. Finally, because of how objectives are designed, players tend to focus on themselves instead of their team. They give a lot of rewards, but most of it is personal gain. So even if they technically help the team, there's not much reason to actually work together. Most players just try to finish objectives as fast as possible, rather than paying attention to what their teammates are doing. That can lead to situations where everyone is focused on objectives, while others are left alone to deal with pressure or even get killed. And like I said before, objectives are way too rewarding. They're one of the only ways to earn agony besides being in a chase, which is a huge issue since players want to play as killer. This incentivizes players to focus on objectives if they want more chances to play killer, which, while fun for themselves, isn't always fun for the rest of the team. Now, obviously complaining is one thing, but how do we actually fix the problems? Well, I do have a few suggestions on how this could be improved. This probably won't fix everything, but it's better than doing nothing. Firstly, I think the rewards for objectives should be nerfed. Now, I think the amount of scrap and XP you get from objectives is fine, but the amount of time skips and agony you obtain is way too much. I think the amount of agony you get should be toned down, and once all the objectives are completed, the time should be set to 4 a.m. instead of 4:30 a.m. I think this would give the killer more time to deal with survivors, even if it's only an extra minute, and it could also encourage players to help their team more instead of mindlessly sitting on generators, especially with some of the suggestions I'm about to bring up. Secondly, I think abilities should give agony. I know you already get agony in chases, but I honestly don't think that's enough, especially when you're putting yourself in danger for less agony while some random player safely does objectives and earns more than you. In my opinion, confronting the killer should be more rewarding than safely sitting on objectives. That way, you'd have the safer but less rewarding option, or the riskier but more rewarding option. This might not completely fix the issue, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. Now, I want to say this isn't meant to tear down the developers. I'm sure they're lovely people and are trying their best. But if there's an issue, people should call it out. And if nobody else is going to, then I will. Thanks for watching. This video took me some time to make, so I'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. You obviously don't have to, but it would really help me out. Don't really have much more to say. Goodbye, and have a great day.